You're listening to
Wrestling to the Max.
Alert, clear all channels.
This is an exclusive.
How you like that?
And your hosts, Gary Vaughn, Sean Garmer, and Paul Leeser.
King of Sport. New Japan Pro Wrestling. The Elder Bros.
Hello and welcome to another Wrestle to the Max Extra, where we once again talk about this New Japan G1 Climax 26 tournament, nights 14 and 15. And who would have thought I've been playing the Underboss's music, Mr. Bad Luck Fale, because he might be getting himself a title shot after he beats Okada on one of these shows. Jeez. I mean, of all the matches I'm not looking forward to later.
Man, it's hard to blame me on that one, but with what he gave us on the G1, I'm sure they'll be able to turn in something a little bit more, which was still fun. But yeah. That's a head scratcher. That's a head scratcher.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. It kind of puts that wrench into, will Tanahashi win? Will they do the draw again? You know, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Based on this, because Okada has to win, because if Fale wins, then he is out. Tanahashi's beaten Fale, so as long as Tanahashi wins, then he's good. So it's going to be, it seems pointed at Tanahashi, right? At this point, or
at this point for Block A, I would say it's pointing towards Tanahashi.
If they do the drama, Fuji wins, I think.
Yeah, that's I don't know if I'm ready to count Marufuji out, but I think when in doubt, they're going to go with Tanahashi here. Just because I think if this was a story of him coming so far with the injury only to fall in the finals could make for an interesting story to tell.
So we start off with night 14, and of course this is B block matches, and Toru Yano beating Michael Elgin here. There was some fun stuff with Elgin like twisting Yano's arm and Yano freaking out and making him go all the way to doing the break thing and whatever. But Yano actually wins and beats Elgin, so there's your Elgin loss to kind of put everything back into really tight space with him and Omega and Shibata, and I think that's the trio that's sort of in that last. It's Omega, Shibata, Elgin, and Nakajima and Yano all tied there. So, it's a Yano match.
Did he have to lose to Yano? That's what I said.
Shibata lost to Yano in less time.
That's same thing. Like, did he have to lose to Yano? I guess he did. Somebody, I don't know. Ghetto, you're making me scratch my head the entire tournament, and God help you're not going to stop now.
Could you imagine if Yano got a never title or IC title match out of the thing? It would be nuts.
What if he actually surprises us, has like this incredible match too? Like,
like, oh, you guys forgot I can wrestle. I've been doing this.
I can actually go. Yeah.
Speaking of two guys that we know can actually go, Katsuyori Shibata, the never openweight champion right now, and Yoshihashi. Man, this was a bit different than the Yoshihashi match we've seen, because it's Shibata basically whooping Yoshihashi for a while, and Yoshihashi gets like a little bit of a comeback, but then Shibata puts him away. Man, it didn't give you enough time to really get behind Yoshihashi,
And I really thought we were going to get a little bit longer of a match, and one that actually had the opposite finish, because it felt like they were building up to maybe Yoshi stealing this one and working that into a never open weight title match. But they go the other way and just make Shibata look absolutely dominant. The butterfly lock and into the suplex, into the sleeper, and before the PK, and just Shibata ran Yoshi right the hell over.
Yeah, and that's what he even, like you mentioned, he used Yoshi's hold against them even.
Mhm.
So it's almost like a total like, oh, you're gonna put that on me? Well, screw you, I'm putting it on
Suck
you.
it, Yoshi.
Yeah, exactly. So as I mentioned, Shibata, Elgin, all in there with those 8 points, and another guy that has 8 points after he defeated Tomoaki Honma here. This was actually probably the best Honma match we've seen in the entire tournament with Nakajima. These two just went at it. The kick and chop fest was pretty fun. Honma actually got to play his role well here, but Nakajima eventually puts him down with the PK and the brainbuster. But what'd you think?
I thought this was really good. I thought this was a match that played well into Honma's strengths, and it felt like both guys knew that, and they really worked that style of match that Honma works best at, which is just going 10,000% and beating the bejesus out of you. And Honma getting to look like a stronger guy here with some no-sells there, and Nakajima gets to get his licks in, and it tells a really good story before Nakajima finally puts him away and knocks him out of the tournament. So, it's a good stuff. Honma gets to go back to what I think the best part is Honma gets to play that role that everybody likes, and it really helped get the crowd into it too.
Exactly, yeah. When you can root for Honma, much better match than Honma controlling and being much more of a sort of what we see in a regular wrestler. Yuji Nagata and Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega wins this one with a one-wing angel. What was disappointing here is the Nagata gets his leg worked on, and then he just keeps using the leg that he got worked on. Kind of takes you out of the match a bit, doesn't it?
A little, and I'm only going to chalk this up to how much the G1 has been grinding on Nagata this year, simply because of his age. You see him walk to the ring, and he looks tired. He looks beaten down. He looks like, man, I don't know if I'm even going to make it to the finish line, and that's kind of, it adds some reality to the tournament about how hard these guys are working. But man, like that's something you usually wouldn't forget is the lead work. But I still think they worked a fine match. Nagata still managed to pull some out with Omega, and unfortunately he falls here, but it is what it is. Maybe a little long, but I thought it was good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Larry over for one, he really didn't like this match very much because of that, but I thought it was still good. Just Nagata didn't need to go really long in this match with Omega. But at least Omega again looks like he is going to be in contention there. They've got again the show that they have on Wednesday is a Block B show. So is it a Block B show? Yeah, Block B show. So that will be the last Block B show before we get to that final Block B show. So still got a couple more matches to go, but it seems like things are going to be set. We'll see if anybody else can be eliminated or anything by the time we get to that. But Nagata, I think is he officially out? No, he's not officially out.
Not out yet.
Yeah.
The only guys out in Block B are Honma and the next guy we're about to talk about.
Yeah, Evil, who loses to his captain, his leader in the Los Ingobernables de Japón, Tetsuya Naito, who now stands atop Block B by himself with 10 points. This was a really good match, as you would expect from these two. Loved Naito again, working on the leg as he has been, but Evil was just all hoss here. He was just laying it on Naito constantly, loving it, just getting out of moves and loving the near falls that they had. A lot of Evil chance as well. Not much for Naito until sort of the end.
And I think it's because Naito really let Evil get a lot in. Like, Evil looked like he was on a completely other level of working here than he's ever been in his entire career since we started really following and watching him from Ring of Honor up till today. And just the suplexes, the lariats, the power bombs, the submissions, like everything he did just had such a viciousness to it that really helped elevate the work until Naito plays almost the babyface in peril in this. He's just getting ran over. And he finally managed to he manages to do what he's been doing the entire tournament, and that's outsmart him. He counters into the Destino to get the win, and this match was great. I really enjoyed this one. It was a great main event to finish off the night.
Yeah, exactly. It was a very great, and nothing like what we're going to get in the next show we're going to talk about, where you decide to end with a main event of why. But this was a great way to end this show, and again, Naito and Evil been delivering this whole tournament, and they continue to do that into the end of Block B. So again, we get Naito with 10 points, standing by himself, and you get Shibata, Elgin, Omega, Nakajima, Yano, all with 8. I'd imagine that's probably all as much as Yano's going to get, so he's probably going to lose the next two, I guess, depending on who he's wrestling. You get Nagata and Yoshihashi with 6, and Evil and Hama eliminated with 4 points apiece. So we move on to night 15, which was the next night on August 8th, and they're about to have the Wednesday, August 10th show here in a little bit as we record this. But so we had the first Block A match of Naomichi Marufuji and Tama Tonga, and once again, Tama Tonga works well here. Of course, I don't know how you can have a bad match with Marufuji the way he's been working on in this G1. Once again, the very awesome spot of they take forever to have Tonga do the head shrinker, even though it did seem like he kind of caught him in a bad angle, and Marufuji just landed straight on his face. No holding onto his head from the top like you normally see. But yeah, they did a whole bunch of running around trying to avoid the snake spot. It was awesome. I love that again. And yeah, just Marufuji winds up winning, but Tonga looked good here.
Yeah, this whole match was Tonga doing what he usually does, and Marufuji being this late in the tournament and probably having seen him is one step ahead of him and mocking him for it. What a guy that Marufuji is. Of course, he certainly got to pay for it by the flub there whenever his face ate the mat. But other than that, these guys went out there, they put on an absolutely stupendous match. Lots of hard hits, one of the better ones for Tonga for sure. And, he might have fallen short in this one, but Marufuji, he really does deserve the win. He's still fortunately in the running to maybe win the block, and I think he absolutely deserves to be in the conversation for one of the better workers in this tournament.
Yeah, definitely up there in your top 5, maybe even top 3, depending on how you look at it. But just, yeah, he has been super consistent. The great match on night 1 and has continued that, at least being in the very good to great territories from then. And I don't think we could talk about the tournament without talking about Mr. Tomohiro Ishii and the job that he has done in this tournament. He does it again here. And, of course, SANADA has also been very good. And, of course, you have these two in a match. Chaos, Los Ingobernables, you have that tension already. And then they go out and just, once again. Ishii just going out here and whooping SANADA. SANADA not backing down at all. He's that awesome part where he gives Ishii a Rana, then he quickly gets up and does the springboard dropkick was awesome. Of course, all the acrobatics that SANADA is able to do off the moonsault where he lands on his feet, off the Germans where he lands on his feet, it helps with Ishii because it's sort of his way of no-selling. So then when Ishii no-sells, it just the pissing contest going on is wonderful. But Ishii loses here to the Dragon Sleeper. So Ishii's sort of behind the guys in the running. Kind of sad to see. I wanted to see him be in there in that running to the last day.
I completely agree with you. There's been no stronger worker in this G1 this year than Tomohiro Ishii. And good God, Sanada has tapped out Tanahashi clean, and now he's tapped out maybe the toughest man walking the planet right now, Tomohiro Ishii. Inconsistent booking through the tournament, maybe, but man, he's that move is dangerous now. He's tapped out two really good people, and this match was great. It's one of the better ones of the tournament. Sanada is on fire, Ishii is Ishii, and I just, it was so good. It was so good. It's Sanada surviving the power bombs and countering out the brainbuster into the Dragon Sleeper, and a brainbuster of his own. I thought was a sweet finish. The stretch was great.
I completely agree. I love that sort of closing stretch with these two guys, and I mean, everything that's involved most of the time, Chaos and Los Ingobernables has been great, and this continues that here. And we move on to a Hiroshi Tanahashi that is making that big-time run into making sure he's one of the guys at the end of the day. Hiroshi Tenzan already eliminated, even though, he was the big story coming in. And this is one of those matches where Tenzan is tired. This dude is beat down, and Tanahashi is doing everything he possibly can to make sure that Tenzan looks good. And it also helps the crowd is totally into Tenzan here, and every time Tanahashi does anything, he gets booed. So yeah, there's a great dynamic there. And Tanahashi also feeds into it too, so he does heel stuff. He puts his leg around the rope and holds it there till 5 and makes the crowd boo. And I really enjoyed Tanahashi here, and Tenzan still had some good moves that he was able to pull off crisply. So I mean, for the fact that what Tanahashi had to do with Tenzan here, I still thought it was pretty good.
Tenzan is starting to remind me of a story I have here. Garth Brooks did a tour this year all over the country. He ended up doing a bunch of shows back to back here in Dallas. I think he did like 5 nights. And I went to go see him, and it was like the 3rd or 4th night he had been doing the shows, and his voice was almost gone and all this other stuff. But he's got his hits lined up, and he's giving you everything he's got, and that's exactly what Tenzan is right now. Just instead of playing the hits, which he just has chopping the fuck out of you, which he does to Tanahashi early on. And then he gets to he gets to play the hits and misses the moonsault. He gets the mountain slam. He gets the Anaconda Vice. He gets all his other moves, and it was fine. Tanahashi, he might be at like 80% right now. 80% Tanahashi is probably still better than 80% of the wrestlers in the world. So.
Yeah, totally agree. And then we move on to Kazuchika Okada, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, against Bad Luck Fale, a nemesis of Okada's, that Okada thought he had put down on his run after Wrestle Kingdom 9, where he's trying to repair himself after the big loss to Tanahashi, and he runs into him here again, and again, Fale wins to set up a potential championship match later on down the line in the lead-up to Wrestle Kingdom. Fale was Fale. I mean, he's good at times, and Okada's usually one of the guys that works better with him, but I don't know. This once again came off very just... It was good, just not a whole lot else there.
Yeah, good, not great. Fale... I don't know. There are times where I'm really interested in him. There are more times where I'm just like, here's the big guy. Here he comes. And, when Okada has to work, obviously, to get good stuff out of you. And I don't know. The match was fine. Like I said, it's just not anything to write home about. And that, I can't claim to be excited about an IWGP title match, but I'm sure it'll be good. It'll still be worth your time.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, they'll probably perform better when it's a title match too.
Yeah.
You get Fale winning with the Bad Luck Fall, the death move, so nobody's getting out of that. And then they end it with Togi Makabe and Hiroki Goto. Very odd main event here. Just the placement of this match. Goto wins with the GTR. This was okay. Kind of a dull way to finish the show. But Goto now with Fale, Tanahashi, Marufuji, and Okada all tied with 10 points. And,
yeah. The block A, the ace block, whatever you want to call it. It's interesting. Goto going over Makabe in a perfectly average bout. Just the live crowd, I don't think is really into anything these guys had to offer. And Makabe, maybe treated strong at the start of the tournament, has certainly gone on to lose his fair share of matches. And Goto's been there the entire time. And hasn't really had a lot of opportunities to have those big standout matches, but he certainly does have that story going for him still that I'm interested in, and I might be one of like 10 people who is, but I don't know. Match didn't do anything for me, and I was glad Goto won. Obviously, he's still got, who's he got left? He's got Marufuji, yeah, in the last night, so another guy there in that top of the standings thing, so we'll have to see how all that shakes out. But man, that match should be good, and hopefully Goto can have a big match that helps him stand out some.
Yeah, so who we got? What do we got here in the the next thing is a B block
Right.
show in Yamagata, the Yamagata City General Sports Center. They have it'll be Yano and Evil. Yano obviously still in contention right now. He could technically beat Evil, or Evil beats him, so Evil gets 6 points. Yano would get 10 if he wins. You have Yoshihashi and Naito. That should be interesting. Los Ingobernables and Chaos once again. I'd assume Naito wins, but perhaps not. Nakajima and Omega. That's interesting as well.
Yeah.
Shibata and Nagata again. I think Shibata wins that again.
Yeah.
And I think that Elgin would beat Hanma to kind of keep things even.
Mm-hmm.
And this next A block show, you got Fale and Tama Tonga. That seems very much destined for Tonga to beat his buddy. You think? I
don't know. I don't know if you keep Fale strong or if you let Tonga somehow outsmart him. If Fale's getting a title match, I think you go with Fale there.
You get the battle of the two eliminated guys and Tenzan and SANADA.
Yeah.
You get Makabe and Ishii, so the battle that never ends with those two. Makabe's still technically in this at that point. He'd be on 8 points. You get Goto Marufuji, who are also still in this. Both have the same amount of points. So that's going to be interesting where they place that on the show, and I would assume that it'll build up to Tanahashi and Okada.
Yeah, that's the main event, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Man, this is going to be interesting how they do this, because again, like if Fale wins, then Tanahashi wins, or if they do the draw, then Marufuji would beat Goto, and then he would win because he's beaten Fale. So, I mean, it seems like I'm still going to go with Tanahashi here, but I love the way that they've built this up, and there's so many possibilities going into this A block.
It's really anybody's game, and I think the only one I would safely say doesn't have a chance of winning the entire thing is Fale. Just because, if Fale wins, Tanahashi's winning. If Fale loses, and they might do that just to keep the drama alive in Okada Tanahashi, then it really opens up. And that'll be where it gets interesting.
Yeah, and then you get this last show, the August 13th show is the last B block show. You get Yano and Yoshihashi, which I think that's Yoshihashi getting his last points there against Yano.
Mm-hmm.
You get Elgin Nakajima. That should be lots of fun.
It's going to be a hell of a match.
Nagata and Hanma should be... it couldn't be bad, I guess. Naito Omega, of course, and Shibata Evil. So it's going to be interesting where they place this. I'd assume Evil knocks Shibata out.
I think that's right. And then that'll set you up for a fun never open-weight title match. Naito goes over Omega to solidify the block, though.
Yeah, certainly. And then you're looking at Naito against probably Marufuji or Tanahashi.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely Tanahashi, but I'm not going to count out Marufuji at this point either, because him beating either one of those guys is a big deal.
Yeah,
You know?
and not to mention Geto's been cute the entire booking of this tournament, so Marufuji somehow ending up in the final wouldn't shock me at all.
It would be a nice plus for Noah,
Mm.
So,
And there's still, there's that story of Marufuji maybe being on a tryout for Chaos and stuff too. So
yeah, and Nakajima as well. I think that was
yeah,
his thing. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I mean, we're getting down to that closing stretch. One more show, and then those 3 big shows, and that'll be the end of the G1.
yeah, and we'll have the finale and all that fun stuff when. Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. That last A Block show is going to be insane.
Yeah, what we'll probably do is, since it's one show, we'll probably do the night 16 inside the actual W2M on Thursday, the regular W2M episode, and then we'll probably do. Well, it had to be sometime on Saturday. We got to do an extra for the first 2 nights, and then Sunday we do the one for the big one, the finals, which we'll go back to actually doing the entire show, because that should have some fun stuff on it. We have, Lethal and Kojima. Some people making some whispers about Kojima winning the ROH title, maybe even. You think that might be a possibility?
No. It should be a really, really good match, but there's no way I think they let ROH isn't giving up all the effort and time they put into building Lethal Cole for Death Before Dishonor that coming Friday.
No, I'm just. Yeah. So that's. I mean, I guess it's a nice little reward for Kojima there.
Yeah. Way to be a good friend, guy.
Yeah, and I think it's. I don't even know they haven't set up most of the other matches for that show yet. So, Kushida might. I don't think they even have Kushida defending a title, because he has the Super J-Cup in a week after that. So we'll have to see what card they put out for that. But yeah, and well, until the Thursday show, guys. Thank you for joining us for the G1 nights 14 and 15, and we'll be seeing you around again just to end the proceedings. Until
Stay
then,
tuned, guys. It's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah, gonna be a fun week and almost 2 weeks here of just wrestling everything.
Everything. Everyday wrestling. That's the life.
The life.
Oh.